Yeah, I haven't felt this way in a while, so it's a gut punch for sure.
You were asked about it during the week. Did it feel like last year's game against the Jets, kind of a similar thing, week 12?
Yeah, absolutely did. And again, I still stand by what I said. It feels different on this team, but our week of practice was not to the standard that we have set. That we have really had. Again, I haven't felt this way with this team yet. Where we got punched in the face and it just kept happening. And we have to give credit to Atlanta for how good of a team they are. We knew it based on the film. We knew it based on top 10 rush defense, top 10 third downs. They did a great job on third down today. And honestly, when you watch the film, we're an assignment here, assignment there, a better throw here, a better throw there from a lot of points. And I think that's the most frustrating part when you get, the crap kicked out of you like that, is how close we were to some really big plays.
Eric, was there anything in particular they were doing up front against you guys in order to get that kind of pressure they got off the edge?
No, in the pocket, that stuff happens all the time where guys are right there or they hit your arm or something like that. And sometimes you get the ball off, sometimes they get there a half second early. And I don't think that, it was just anything different that they did or anything like that. I thought they played really well. I thought they made their plays and a couple times got to me just in the nick of time because we had, on one, we had Henry on a post for a touchdown. And then we had Nelson on a double move for a touchdown late. And, again, those things happen all the time where there's chaos in the pocket and they hit your elbow or they hit your arm as you're throwing it. And then there's also times where that happens and you get the ball off just before they touch you, So I don't think it was anything different, but you have to give them credit for making those plays.
Derek, can you talk a little bit about the realism of the snowball effect? It seems like if one thing goes wrong, another can go wrong, another can go wrong. It seemed like that kind of just snowballed today with the team.
Yeah, it did. Chris, there's no argument here on that. That it definitely happened today. It was a snowball effect of just bad plays and very frustrating loss. We haven't done that in a while. We haven't done that in some time. So very, very frustrating. And this is one of those where you want to watch it, correct it, and then burn the film because you're like, that's not who we are. But it is. We put it on film. It is what it is. And there's one or two ways we can handle it. We can say, oh, crap, and just keep giving into that, or we can grit our teeth like I think our team will and get ready. Because we have a team that kicked the crap out of us last year coming next. They beat the dog out of us last time. So we better get our minds right before we get on that plane for that game.
Eric, I was literally going to say that, not to minimize what happened today or the lessons that you can learn, but is there sometimes a case to be made for just burn the tape? Don't even really necessarily worry about it. It wasn't necessarily who you guys are, and just move on as quickly as you can from it. Yeah, personally, you want to burn it, but there, as a competitor, you still have to make the corrections. You still have to watch the tape. There's always something to be learned, win or loss. For me, my mindset last week was the same as it was this week, and during the game. If there's something different, when I watch the film, I correct it and things like that. But you try your best to find this process I always talk about, even in the game, and stay right there. And if you find little blips, then it's a reminder to, hey, that's not what we do. This is what we do. So I really, for me, I got to make the corrections. There's too many 2 or 3 throws where it's like, I don't do that, it drives me nuts, and I got to live with that all week. That's what I earned today. I got to live with that, but at the end of the day, we do have a team that we're going to play that beat the dog out of us. And if we don't come ready to play, we don't come ready to work on Wednesday for practice, and it better start before then. But if we don't come ready to work, they're going to do it again.
Hi, Derek. So you mentioned that you felt flat this week in practice. Do you feel like maybe that was a kind of like a hangover after coming so close and just putting so many points up against the Chiefs and just falling just short? And also, is there a fear that this, you had mentioned that you think is a different 6-4 type of team, but is there a fear that after a loss like this, you could be like, here we go again?
I've been here, I think now, me and Gabe have been here the longest, and it doesn't feel like that,
I have felt that feeling where, around the guys we're like, oh crap, here we go, and it's not the same, for whatever that's worth, it's not, I know that feeling, I've seen that feeling, that frustration. But I did feel it in practice talking to a few guys too, and I made sure it wasn't just me, I asked a couple guys, and you try and get guys going in practice and you try and get yourself going and things like that, but it just didn't feel right. And I don't know what the reason for that was. I don't know why that happened. I think we've done a great job of flushing win or loss and then going to the next game. I think Coach does a great job of that. He makes sure we know every good thing about the next team we're about to play to make sure that we're ready to go. And so I don't know if it was a hangover type effect. Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to study that. I don't know. But for me, I just know it wasn't up to our standard. So this week it better be.
Hey, Darren, you guys have had a lot of fumbles in the pocket so far this season. Is there anything you can do as a quarterback to avoid those kind of fumbles? I mean, obviously you're not going to be protecting the ball like a ball carrier, but is there anything you can do on your end to avoid those?
Yeah, absolutely. We practice it all the time too. I think that's the frustrating part. I think on the first one, we always talk about two hands on the ball. I had two hands on the ball, and he literally just hit right on my forearm, and the ball slipped out of my hands, and then. Really, the other two were as I was throwing. One was I never saw the last two guys. I never saw them. Those things you don't want them to happen, but they happen. But anytime I can see the guy, I try my best to get two hands on the ball, and I should have took that ball to my chest. That was a bad play. Bad play by me on the first one. The other two, I gotta get the ball out quicker. It's definitely not my line's fault. They've been doing a heck of a job. So. I got to do a better job of stepping up and making my read happen faster.
Hey, Derek, because of the increase in COVID cases, the NFL determined that teams can't go back to their facility either Monday or Tuesday. I'm just curious whether are you concerned that you're not going to be able to get together as a group and look each other in the eye for the next 2 days to kind of sort it over, or is that just going to go on virtually or on the phone, or it's a different setup than it would normally be to bounce back?
Yeah. Again, Jerry, this is like it's one of those things we don't know how to really deal with this. We never had to deal with this. I mean that we've never had to deal with this before in my time in the NFL, and probably in your time covering the NFL. This is unheard of kind of stuff, and it's pretty interesting that we can't go in the building. I understand that they're trying to make us and our families as safe as possible, and we appreciate that. But as a football team, especially after something like this, you want to get back to work. You don't want that taste in your mouth for a couple of days. But honestly, for us, maybe it's a good thing. A lot of guys can reflect. A lot of guys can watch the tape and really see, if it was their best effort, and if practice was their best effort. And we do a really good job of washing stuff away, win or loss. We get on the plane and we do what we do. And I think that we have a better group. For sure than what we put on tape today, but our fans deserve